What's up, G Fusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So, Zenkaiger episode 18 came out the day I was recording this video, and of course, I have seen it. Now, I've actually stopped reviewing episodes on a weekly basis, but my god, Zenkaiger episode 18 is insane. Okay? And there's one big reason. So before I move on, I know I'm sorry about this, but I would like to remind everyone that there will be spoilers. Well, not the entirety of the episode, but this is probably the biggest. This is probably the highest point of the episode. This is the highlight of the episode that you guys should watch for yourselves anyway. But I can't help but you know uh I can't help but talk about it. I want to talk about it, so please, I'm sorry. Let me do this. And again, I will place a spoiler warning. So if you haven't seen the latest episodes of Zenkaiger yet, I suggest you watch them first. Wait for episode 18 to come out. Come back to this video, or if you're very much fine with spoilers, then please proceed with caution and enjoy. Now, if I may, I guess I would also like to play spoilers, not just for Zenkaiger, but also for Chojin Sentai Jetman. Yes, I will also have to place a spoiler warning here just in case, even though it's been like 30 years since it came out, and it's been in the internet for a very long time. If you haven't seen Jetman yet, go and watch it. So, actually, I highly recommend you watch both episode 18 of Zenkaiger and the final episode of Jetman. So, yeah. Anyways, let's begin. So, the main reason why I want to talk about this episode of Zenkaiger, so I did mention Jetman, right? So what happened today is that today's featured Sentai gear is indeed Chojin Sentai Jetman. So initially, when I was thinking of the Jetman Sentai gear, I thought, maybe it's going to grant the Zenkaigers the power to fly, but what happened was so crazy. Like, at first, it didn't make sense to me, but as the scene goes on, like, oh my god. Like, it is very Jetman. It's a weird effect. It's a very specific it's a very specific effect to have, which I don't know. It's interesting, it's weird, it's crazy. I don't even have the right word, I think, to describe the situation. So, anyways, this is where the major spoilers come in. So, before I continue on, probably, uh, you know, watch the episode first, watch Zenkaiger episode 18 first, and then come back to this video. So, again, like, another spoiler warning, like, one more before we continue on. So, okay. So now that's out of the way. So what happened was, when the Sentai gear was used, we are suddenly taken to a church, and the Zenkaigers are dressed like there's a wedding going on, and then I realized that this wedding scene, because of its connection to Jetman, is indeed taken from the final episode of Chojin Sentai Jetman. So this is why I actually recommend watching the final episode of Jetman as well. So you can get a side by side comparison as to what happened. So basically, so talking about Jetman, so what happened in the final episode was that Ryu Tendo, Red Hawk, and Kaori Rokumekan, White Swan, so they eventually ended up marrying each other 3 years after their victory over Vyram after defeating Dadiget. So uh, there was one important person who was actually kind of late to the wedding, and that was Guy Yuki, aka Black Condor. So what happened is that he was supposedly trying to buy flowers on his way to the wedding. However, the moment he steps out of the flower shop, there was a robber who snatches a lady's purse, and he decides to go after that thief. So he does catch up to him and gives the robber a beating. However, uh, as he walks away, the robber pulls out a knife. So charges at Guy. So Guy looks back. So hearing that the man is shouting and probably charging at him, and then he gets stabbed. So later on, after the wedding, so we see Guy outside of the church sitting on a bench. So again, he was already late, probably because he was already struggling to get to that church because of his injury. And this is, he has one last talk with Ryu. The group probably wanted to have a group picture, but Ako, aka Blue Swan, so she noticed that Guy wasn't joining them, and you said he's probably tired, let him rest. And well, we are shown that Guy loses consciousness, and it is in fact confirmed much later in Gokaiger that he actually died. Now, back then, it was only speculated, so whether he simply lost consciousness but was able to recover. So it was probably Super Sentai fandom, uh, theory. So one of the biggest debates in probably the global Super Sentai fandom before Gokaiger. So people were speculating whether or not Guy survived, but again, with the Jetman tribute episode in Gokaiger, it is confirmed that he did die from his injury. So yeah, basically what happened when the Zenkaigers used the Jetman gear, they basically recreated that scene. I know, it's weird. So uh, if you look at a side by side comparison, so if you watch both Jetman and Zenkaiger, so the final episode of Jetman and Zenkaiger episode 18, now the recreation of that scene wasn't really 100% accurate, but uh, it's basically the same thing. Sure, there are some elements that were different. Let's say, for example, it so that highlight scene in Jetman. So, like I mentioned earlier, Guy was buying flowers for the newlyweds. In Zenkaiger, there was no flower shop. There was already the bouquet, and the robbery scene already happens immediately, and so is the chase and the stabbing. And what's interesting is the characters that are involved are different. I'm not gonna say exactly so as to not really completely spoil that part of Zenkaiger, but really it's something that you guys have to see for yourselves just so you can see how crazy it really was. So when When I realized, so it didn't really click with me sooner, but it did take a few seconds for me to absorb what was going on. And when I started realizing, what was happening, like, it's like, oh no, tell me you didn't just do that, Toei. And to I don't know if this is Toei trolling the fans, rubbing it in. After airing that episode of Zenkaiger, after episode 18, they Toei actually uploaded that final episode of Jetman on their official YouTube channel. And as of the recording of this video, it is available. So probably, well, I would like to share it, but I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to access it, with regional restrictions and all. Uh, I guess I could put it down in the description. You guys can use a VPN if you have one. But yeah, Toei did the ultimate big brain move here. Or I don't know. Are you going? Can we call it big brain move? But it was definitely an insane thing for Toei to do. No, it's oddly specific. Uh, you know, but it's it's because of this level of craziness that I couldn't even uh, comprehend until now. That probably makes episode 18 of Zenkaiger one of the most memorable, if not the most memorable episodes in the in the show so far. Because I mean, sure, you do have references to the past Sentai that have been featured. I mean, yeah, they do have like the attacks, the special techniques used, and for me, that was to be expected by using the Sentai gears. But to completely recreate, or not really completely, but to almost completely recreate a scene from the original source material is something that basically blew my mind at that moment. I don't know if I could call it great. I don't know if I could call it bad, but there was the fact that they used the final episode, that specific scene of Jetman, as basically the power of the Jetman Sentai gear was to recreate that scene. And yeah, for a Sentai gear, it's the weirdest I've seen so far. I'm not sure if any other Sentai gear is going to top it in terms of that uh, level of bizarre. But yeah, like I've said earlier, it's because of that you know craziness, that just mind blowing experience, that makes Zenkaiger episode 18 something that you should watch if you haven't watched it yet. And if you've already seen it at this point, it's something that I'm sure you will not forget. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you like this video, please do leave a like, comment, especially if you've already seen, episode 18 of Zenkaiger, or like I've said earlier, if you followed my recommendation, watch Zenkaiger episode 18 and the final episode of Jetman. So, what do you think? If you make your own side by side comparison, so let me know down in the comments. So as always, thanks for watching. Like this video, uh, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get the latest from JE Fusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.